The views expressed in this presentation are those of the host and guests and do not represent the views of any lodge, Grand Lodge, appended body, or any other person or persons whomsoever.
Brethren, we are at Refreshment.
And I think that's it that Marty talked me into.
The greatest story of how you got interested in Masonry.
Add a bottle or 2 bottles, beer, whatever you want.
The 33rd degree is really cool.
All you gotta say was lapel pin or challenge coin.
Need to do this reduction plan of like what's really important. It's nice. The grotto's more family oriented too, so that helps for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Love you guys.
Love you.
We're at Refreshment Masonic University.
For right now, ray of sunshine, take one.
Love it.
What's brown and sticky? A stick. In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh, sometimes I wonder why I still do this.
We all do, buddy. We all do.
Welcome to the At Refreshment Masonic Video Podcast. Again, I am your host, Wesley Reuter. You know what I'm a member of. Let's listen to everybody else before we get to everybody Yoshi.
Hey.
Just a member of.
I'm Wesley Reuter.
You're cut off. Green screen.
Eric Maxa, Villa Park Lodge 1113, and a proud member of this here.
I didn't say I wasn't proud, I'm just tired.
Marty, and I am actually the president of the Wes Reuter fan club.
Wes Reuter.
Yeah. Bleep that out before our show gets splashed.
Yeah, bleep that out. That's all we need. Like, Jesus Christ.
Let's go!
Make these episodes that much harder to edit. I really want to do. Oh,
You know what, though? With that said, Wes, you are doing a great job of editing. I am very proud of you.
Oh yeah, dude. Editing quality has gone through the roof.
what are you trying to say?
That you're a good editor, douche.
Acquired a new skill.
Yeah. All right, did you introduce yourself already?
Yeah, I said I'm the head of the Wes Reuter fan club. I'm Marty.
Oh, okay.
I'm Marty.
Cool. I'm Yoshi. How y'all doing?
And our guest with us today we have...
My name is Ray McCarthy. I am a 2-time past master of Villa Park Lodge, number 1113, which is right here where we are tonight.
Two time.
Two times.
Well, thank you for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Worshipful.
Worshipful.
Wow.
Soon to be worshipful. Not so much. Maybe.
I got 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, he's
You'll get there. You'll get
he's
there.
got some time. So, Marty?
So Ray, yeah, I know. So Ray, I wanted to invite you and I wanted to get you on the show because I know you're working on your own platforming yourself on TikTok, kind of like Brother Fluff and other things. And you're taking an interesting approach to that really cool video of Mikey the Poet. I had a moment talking about you the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I won't get into it right now. That was kind of significant in a certain way. And I guess it dawned on me, not that I didn't know you're important, not that I don't love you, blah, 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 but the exact importance of who you are and what you do and why you're important. It was, I think when we were filming this was about maybe a week or two ago, we had our lodge's, Villa Park Lodge's official visit. We were leading up to it. We had our good school with Cleveland, brother Cleveland. And so come to the week of, we have a couple brothers who have some legitimate life issues and couldn't be there. One ended up being there, but we didn't think they were going to be there. And I remember I was talking to our worshipful Jeremy, and I guess like the answer, just like, how do we fix this problem is, I'll get the McCarthys to do it, you and your father. And then I was laughing with Cliff. So hear me out.
The worshipful brothers McCarthy.
Yeah, and then I was talking to Cliff, and I'm like, I was laughing. I was like, the McCarthy's been bailing us out for like 10 years now. And it's been such a consistent thing. And so, and not that Masonry is about titles, even though we all seem to give ourselves fancy ones and we get extra aprons and all that good stuff. We're the only society that meets on level that hands out titles. Like, that's a whole other story. Right. But
That we should do an episode.
we should. But you have all these people that have these accolades. But what about that guy who's been here, the pitch hitter who's been here for like 10, 20 years? Like, I mean,
24.
24 years, right? It is just kind of crazy. And I was thinking, like, man, how much, if we really worked out every time they showed up for election, I'm talking about you and your dad kind of together now in this context. every time they stepped up, I'm like, this is priceless, man. These guys have been keeping this organization going. You're not on some Grand Lodge level. You're not patrolling around the state looking for titles. You are just here for 24 years in the most basic, ground level, kicking butt, boots on the ground version, doing masonry well. And
you got Ray. You got Ray who'll step in and take a lecture.
Yeah.
At a moment's notice, right?
Yeah.
His dad, Ray, will drop.
My dad's name is Bill.
Okay, you're Ray. It's been a long day.
This is
Bill-
like episode
Bill
number
hops in
4
and
or
does
5 for us right now.
like
Everywhere.
and it's a beautiful thing. But yeah, you guys really just hop in and just take ownership of it.
No.
It sounds like everyone here wants you to keep coming back for another 24 years.
Well, it would be helpful, especially around OV season.
Well, I mean, we have been looking for a new host.
Yeah. No, man.
Yeah, we are.
No, but I don't. But what do you say for that guy, a life in masonry, who's done it? We talked a little about it with the John Madel episode where he wanted to create these coins for credit. How do you thank a guy who's been quietly cornerstoning a lodge through several, I hate to say regimes, but through several different officers? Ray, how do we thank you?
I got a great idea.
It's really simple. Say thank you for your service, brother. That's it.
Cut the cameras.
That's
Cut the
all,
cameras,
that's
we're
all-
done.
That's all the recognition that we need, man. It's not about titles. It's not about station. It's not about, oh, look how big, bad Mason me I am. It's, I do that I do. I can say that, right?
No.
Don't worry about it.
We'll believe
All right, cool. Well, anyways, I do the stuff that I do for the guy that's walking in that door. Okay, I might never see him again, and he might not stick around here, but that doesn't mean that he's not going to be practicing masonry in some way or another in his everyday life. Okay, you got to remember, every Shriner is a Mason.
Mm-hmm.
Every potentate is a Mason. Every past monarch is a freaking Mason. And they're doing all wonderful freaking things that I have absolutely no idea about, but I make it. I make it my
Secrets of Freemasonry.
but I make it my mission to put the best impression on their mind, so that when they leave here, they're like, "Damn, I got some stuff to think about," and that stuff's going to stick with them and resonate with them, hopefully for at least a couple of weeks. That's going to
Ray was
ripple
there
out
for
into their life.
my first degree.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
he was there
learned
for my degree.
I learned a fancy way of tying a tie because of him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ray has some amazing.
You know what? Honestly, Ray, like I don't mean to, like, if this comes off the wrong way, please forgive me. But honestly, in my opinion, you are the living embodiment of a Masonic meme that I like.
Oh, no.
It's no.
Hey, we're at Refreshment.
Hold
We
on.
like a lot of memes.
No, this, like, a lot of guys have seen this meme too. It's a younger Mason and it's an older Mason, and it looks like the older Mason is instructing the younger, how to wear his apron, and it says, teach them well, because one day they could be grandmaster.
Yeah,
and honestly, dude, everybody I've ever seen you try to teach, try to give advice, that it's exactly how you do it. You do it the right way. The attentive ear, the faithful breast.
Yeah.
And whenever you try to coach somebody, man, and like, honestly, I am grateful. We're all grateful for that, man.
Yeah.
Because you've done it to me. I know you've probably done it to this guy.
Yeah. What's your choice?
Like, what you and your father have done for Villa Park Lodge and Masonry in general, man, we cannot thank you enough. But it means a lot. It does.
Yeah.
Thank you for the recognition. That means a lot.
You can
I
cry
don't
in the
need-
show.
Thanks, dude. Thanks.
Also not acceptable. I'm talking about Yoshi's box is.
Well, I've got a couple of vials of teardrops to
There we go.
put in that box. I know it's fine.
Yeah.
Gypsy tears.
No, but that thanks isn't required. Honestly, I do it because I want our lodge, not just my lodge, but our lodge, something that I hold very dear, to be proud and be prosperous in any way.
Yeah.
and shining that light of goodness and being like, damn, that we went to an awesome degree over at Villa Park Lodge, and that's gonna propel our spotlight, and I love that.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
So how did you figure out that lectures or memorization, I should put it that way, was your way to go in Masonry?
I have.
Or were you voluntold?
No. Actually, I grew up in a lot of choirs. I have a very keen mind for memorization. Okay, just comes naturally to me. As far as getting into lectures, it was more to honor people that than I had strong connections with in lodge. When I came into this lodge, and there's a whole story if you want to get into that later. There were about 10 people from my church that belonged here, and many of them knew some lectures. They got older, and they either couldn't come to lodge, or well, they died because they're old. And
well.
Hey, that's life, man.
It is. And,
hey, I'm not wearing this shirt.
Get old to pass,
No,
right?
you don't.
What happens to the guy? You get a guy who starts doing lectures, right, and something happens to him, or God forbid, you have a person in the lodge who's like your contact point or something, and they end up in the hospital for months.
yeah. What if we get smacked on the way home? That can happen.
He's like, oh, I wonder who that could be.
I was confused, but yeah, no, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, so we enjoy life when we can, and we grab life by the balls, and we say, "Yay, we're here!"
No, look at we are taught.
So much for being in the lodge room, huh?
So from these, go ahead, Yoshi.
No, all I'm saying is, we were taught, memento mori. We're taught fear not death. I mean, I wish I had that shirt on. It's like I was wearing the shirt that said fear not death. 2 weeks ago when we filled Aaron's promo, right? Like 2-3 weeks ago. So, but why is everyone looking at me all weird?
Because you're
talking. We're listening to you.
No, you guys are giving me that weird look. I'm getting the heebie-jeebies. No, you can look at me all that way.
Memento mori is a good thing to always be aware of. Meditate on it if you want, or not, or think about it, because you never know when it's just gonna go. It just happens. Not to get morbid about it, but
no, it's like
you're right. I mean, the older guys do tend to pass away. And it's sad for the lodge because those older guys are the ones that you relied on to do these lectures.
Not only that, but also you had a bond with that man. With that brother. You bonded with them. You talked with them for years, and then all of a sudden, they're gone, and it's like, oh wow.
Well, here, let me give you an example.
Please.
The first lecture that I learned was a Tenets and Cardinal Virtues lecture. Okay, when I was initiated, and when I was got the blindfold off, there were like 7 people that from my church that was right over there that were standing around the altar.
They met in the East?
Most of them were past masters of this lodge, but Roy Bloomquist, he was an old man. He was probably like 78 or 80 at the time that I was made a Mason at 22. He just bald head, just like me. These little wire frame glasses, very soft smoking guy, and a giant knot on his head. It reminded me of
Good luck, Wes.
Awesome.
That's a West problem.
Okay, and a giant knot on his head. But anyways, remind me of Austin Powers with the mole.
Oh yeah,
with the traveling mole.
Yeah.
But he came down with Alzheimer's and got hospitalized, and I really connected with him not only at church but here, and because he was the only one of the 2 people that knew that lecture for our lodge at the time, that someone's going to fill his shoes, and I learned that because of him.
Oh,
yeah, in honor of him, and I've just kind of built that into my lectures. And so everything that I have learned either was a challenge from somebody or I do it in honor of somebody.
The in honor part is the coolest part of that to me. And especially that even at that time, you were aware enough to realize that keeping their legacy going past them was such something that you wanted to undertake and keep going for the lodge. And I'm sure it gets more meaningful almost every time you deliver it when you reflect on where you've come from and these great brothers.
Sure.
It's just super cool.
One of the guys that he was a grand lecturer, part of the board of grand examiners, Wayne Austin.
Okay.
He's no longer with us, but I was doing the historical lecture because I needed to fill a spot and took it up as a challenge. And he told me that the historical lecture and the emblems lecture, which comes right after it in the third degree, used to be given together as one lecture. And ever since he told me that, then that's what I did. I took that challenge. I learned the emblems lecture, and I've done the whole thing all at once.
It's funny you mentioned Wayne. He did when LaGrange and Azure were their own separate lodges. I was installed as the Tyler for LaGrange Lodge, but they said I could be installed with the implement of my office, so I used that blue lightsaber I had. So I came in there, turned on, and it's waving and everything. Everyone's laughing, and Wayne's just like, I don't know what to say. I'm completely blank now because I've never seen this before. So he needed a couple minutes. Obviously, I turned it off and set it down, and he's just like, okay, something new all the time. So
now Wes just waves his cane and tells kids to get off his front lawn.
Yeah. Oh, he still waves his lightsaber.
It's actually your third degree lecture work is actually one of my favorites because you, like many great people, put your own touch on it. When you do the part where you cut the lights and then you bring it back up and then you only light the altar first. There's certain times you go to like a ritual, like you're going to a degree and you're like, oh, who's on the slate side? Then you're like, oh, cool, he's doing that. I haven't seen him do. It's all the same work. It all follows the standard work, but I haven't seen the spice, for lack of better words, that this particular guy puts on it. And you've developed a presentation that I think is worthwhile and worth seeing again the way you do it.
Thanks. Yeah, what he's talking about is there's a point in that ritual where we're talking about death and how death overtakes us. Eventually, everybody. I mean, and it's the memories that we perpetuate. That, in my personal opinion, that is what in Masonry we consider immortality. Is the memory that you leave behind and the stories that you tell about those people that impacted your life. That's how they attain immortality. As long as their name is still on your breath, with affection and emotion, then your spirit will live on.
Yep.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to put it. We're all looking, well, not all of us, but we're looking for the quest of immortality in some way or another.
Yeah, no.
And usually it's just by the written word or the spoken word you impacted somebody's life.
Yeah.
And they keep telling you about this guy, and it goes on years and years. It happens in so many lodges. Oh yeah, there was this guy. Where is he at? Oh, he's been dead for like 20 years, and he still gets talked about.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You know, it happens so much.
You know, I can honestly say, you know, recently, Marty, after ROV, we had discussed some topics, and there's one thing I noticed throughout the time I've been here at Villa Park is that when Brother Bill McCarthy is here, we know it's not going to be a short meeting.
I was thinking, oh, this is going to be serious.
My dad's talking.
Wait, you know what? I will say this. You know, it's not going to be a short meeting, right? Bill enjoys voicing his opinion in lodge, and that's
and that's his right.
Not
A
lot of people do, and it is his right to do so.
No, and he brings up a lot of good points.
You know, Marty spoke to me. I may have made the joke that lodge would have been 2 hours shorter if Bill wasn't here, but he also made the fact to point it out. He said, "But when he's not here, you're going to miss him."
Yeah.
You know, you get to know people by their actions. And you get to learn, your brothers in the lodge and their habits and what, you know, what their little quirks are and everything like that. But that's those memories you're building.
Yeah, man.
And those memories you carry on will live with you.
Well, there's something to be said for beating a dead horse in lodge. You know, we've talked, okay, it's brung up. 2 people have already talked about it. Somebody else gets up and that brings something else up and somebody else starts talking and we're all like, okay. But there's always that one time where it's like, by the time the 4th guy said something, like, damn, I didn't think about that. And it changed the whole thing, because we need those discussions to point those things out, because we're all gonna be like, all right, does it sound good? Good. Yeah, we need clean water. Great. You know, and that's the end of it. And we're not gonna figure out that problem until we start doing it.
So my kind of version of losing someone within a lodge setting or a Masonic setting, what kind of the way I was explaining to you is more based on Worshipful Brother Hal March from this lodge. If you asked me 5 years ago, or let's say 5 years, because I'm using arbitrary numbers, if I wanted to hear Hal explain why the Eastern Star was important to me again, no, I wouldn't. I'd like to not hear that. Hal, you talk about that all the time. And now that we've unfortunately lost Hal, I would trade anything to hear him go on one never-ending Eastern Star laden rant again that goes nowhere. And God bless his heart for it.
No, you know, dude, that's the reason I joined the Star, is because of him.
Yeah, that's the reason I'm worthy patron.
Yeah, like, honestly, like, you know, I didn't know, I didn't get the memo when you become Worshipful Master of Villa Park. You're supposed to join the Eastern Star too.
Yeah, that's what Hal said.
You know, and that's kind of how it happened.
That's how Hal pushed it.
I mean, that's how he pushed it. You know,
Yeah,
and I'm like, yeah, Hal, yeah, I'll join. And I didn't. I mean, honestly, I mean, I'm saddened by it that I didn't join the Eastern Star until after he had passed, because you know what? I wish he could have been there when I joined the Eastern Star.
In that regard, though, Marty.
Yes.
During your installation for Worthy Patron,
Yes.
you had to sign the Book of Constitutions, yes?
Oh, God, yeah, I did.
And whose name was the last Worthy Patron?
I signed right under Hal March. And that screwed me up a little bit that day.
Hell, dude, I didn't even do it. That's screwing me up now.
Yeah, because it didn't dawn on me. I didn't look at it beforehand. I just went to go put my name. I was just signing something. It was like, oh, wow. And it changed that moment. And a lot of the ways that I kind of look at things now. And, you know, just that I'm going about 11 years in. I know, Ray, you got me well beat on that. I think, Wes, you do too. But those brothers that aren't here, man, their memory will haunt you.
Yeah.
In the best and worst ways possible.
Yeah.
See, the way I see that particular instance, that's Hal coming back to saying, "What's up, Marty?"
Well, I remember when I did that.
I joined the Star, Hal. Leave me alone.
I know, right? Hell, I joined the Star. Damn it, I did it for you, babe.
I did that interview that's lost, that got really messed
Yeah.
up. The producer, I was talking to him in the secretary's room. It was all about Eastern Star. Everything sounded great and everything, but the footage just wasn't salvageable.
You know, there are regrets with that. There really is. It's like he had so much knowledge, and we missed the opportunity to really tap into it. We got a little bit of it, but we lost it. But you know what? Some things are meant to be, and some things aren't.
Yeah, that's where memories come in.
Exactly.
So, all right. Well, with that, we're gonna take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Hey.
Good deal.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. So We left off. You were talking about lecturers, or not lecturers, lectures. How many do you know?
Okay. I know all 4 lectures on the first degree. The only one I don't know on the only ritual I don't know on the second degree is the half of the latter half of the senior deacon's lecture, the 2 charges on the third degree. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's it. Like, oh.
Literally, it's easier for me to tell you things that I don't know rather than things that I do know.
And I have seen him do all 4 first degree lectures in one night.
And and the apron lecture and obligating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, Ray, you need some water there, bud?
That night.
So how do you stay fresh on all of it? Or you don't have to look at it, you're ready to go at any time, or?
Most of it, yes. Usually the night before I'll run through it once or twice. If it's something that I haven't done frequently or in a really long time, then maybe I'll take 48 hours to refresh it. But normally things stick pretty quickly with me. The second degree charge I learned in 7 days, and that's 2.5 pages, maybe 2 pages of ritual.
Like that,
yeah. But I read 2 lines and then repeat.
So you just got to keep repeating it. You don't do like the single letters cipher or something.
I didn't even know about that. I'm gonna try that.
Oh yeah, well,
yeah.
I know all 3 short form catechisms. Beat that.
He's done all the long form.
That's right.
That is something though. That is something that's a goal of mine. I don't know when I'm ever going to get to it, but is to do all 3 long forms so I can get that pin. I want that pin.
You know that third degree catechism that I performed in Lodge.
Yeah.
We were supposed to have a first degree catechism the meeting before, and it didn't happen. So I'm like, you know what? I haven't done my third degree catechism. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And Bob Viggy, I talked to Bob Viggy. Came the next. He was our district deputy at the time, and he came the next meeting.
The legend.
And I learned the catechism in 3 weeks for that, and gave it an open lodge.
Gary was here for that too, wasn't he?
Yeah, Gary presented me with the pin.
Because Gary had to come and present you with the pin. Because he was what? What was he then? That he had to come and give that pin? Because he had to be a witness for it too, didn't he?
Yeah,
or something like that.
What was that?
You had to be a witness for a pin?
No, you can only get this
quite
pin.
a pin.
You can only get this pin if you do your third degree catechism long form.
Yeah, it's a cool like scroll one.
Come in with
Yeah,
there's a
he's got the
there's a notary. No, you ever see that done?
Oh wow! Oh,
it's
dude,
a big deal.
Bro,
it was an unexpected big deal to me apparently.
No, that's a dude. Grandmaster comes and everything.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, no, he didn't. No, he didn't.
He would have been happy to be here, but he wasn't.
Yeah, he's always happy to be here.
Yeah. You know, Ray, I bet you have a really interesting outlook on something because you are a 2-time past master of Villa Park Masonic Lodge. Generally, and this is just what I've seen, when someone's a 2-time, that means the senior warden's life fell apart and he sat around for another year to keep the lodge line stable. That was a bad way to put it, but you know what I meant. Ray, you were 2008 and 2018.
Yeah.
You had a perfect 10-year gap in between them. How much? So from
wait. I was raised in 1998.
Really?
By my father, who was master in 98.
All right.
So straight up, every 10 years they get a McCarthy for the master.
McCarthy 2028. I'm already campaigning
by the metric system.
Yeah. So, but okay, how about this? From masonry in 98 raised to your first time as master 10 years later, 2008, to your second time in 2018. How much change did you see?
A lot.
Fair. But I mean, what struck you that moved along for the better into your second term as master?
Oh, geez. Between my first year and my second year, the lodge went into a downturn of attendance and things, and for those people that don't know, lodges are cyclical like that. You know, you get an influx of people, everybody's really jazzed up, something happens or a multitude of things happen and life happens and fewer people come to lodge. Well,
Somebody knocks on the door when they're not supposed to. People get upset and leave.
but anyways,
Put your faith in
what
yourself instead of God.
what I saw is that the lodge had reinvented itself into being a more inclusive, more tight knit, brotherly love showing, and making that their priority, and just welcoming anybody that knocked on the door, saying, "Hey, come on in. Yeah, check it out." You know, we're not gonna be super super focused on lines and doing everything exactly perfect, and we're not gonna say things
Philip Park has
exactly
lucky lines. They
perfect.
exist.
Well, that's the way that it was back in the mid '90s, mid '80s.
Well,
this used to be a tough.
This used
You've
to
been
be
around over 2 decades, right?
yeah.
So are you, as a older member, not older in age, but older member time-wise here of the lodge, are you happy with the direction the lodge is going now?
Currently, yes, absolutely.
You're talking about like the way things have changed. It's like this used to be a tuxedo lodge, wasn't it? Like this was like every meeting, every degree or whatever. Like you were supposed to be in a full-on tux.
Well, when I've been associated with this lodge since before 1990. Okay, and every meeting, I was black ties and black black suits. For degree work. The officers that were performing the work performed it in tuxedos. Okay, at least the third degree. Okay, we didn't have meals in the for the first and second, but we always had meals for the third degree. Okay, because it's a longer degree.
Yeah.
Feed the guys that are actually doing the work.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, I had my own tuxedo. I still have it. It's 10 in the closet. It's way too small for me. But
What's that now? He looks like Boss Baby.
kinda fat guy in a little coat. But yeah, that kind of started going by the wayside, probably around 2006, 2007. The more accepting approach of we're just happy that you're coming out probably started around 2012, 2013, I would say. And yeah,
because that's almost around when I came. I was 2014, right?
Yeah.
2014 is when I started coming around, and you guys were very, we want you here. In my opinion, we've become more of a working man's lodge. A lot of our members now we're all working men. A lot of us are shooting right from work
that
to come
includes
here.
a couple other guys. You just get off your shift.
Yeah, I mean, when I was worshipful, there was like a time or two that I did. I was worshipful, and I'm in my uniform. I didn't have time to go home and change. I did the whole meeting in my uniform. And it happens. And it's no disrespect to the lodge, no disrespect to the craft. It's a necessity. I've always the first time I heard it, I've always appreciated it, and to this day, I live by it. Is like I'd rather you be here than not here.
that's right.
If you got, show some respect. Don't show up in shorts and flip flops.
Yeah,
be a little classy. But
wear pants here in Illinois.
We want your heart and your mind.
Yeah.
I
Blind
know
man
that
doesn't
sounds
care.
bad,
when you're-
but yeah, no shorts. You have to wear
Long
well, you know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to.
Yeah, no
what I'm trying to
Speedos.
say, no speedos.
speedos.
Oh.
Well, here's an interesting progression. It went from suits and tuxes and opening on the third degree short form, always.
Yeah.
Okay, not allowing entered apprentices or fellow crafts to sit in lodge and partake in the meetings. And no Prince Hall Masons until at least 2000.
Glad they fixed that.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
glad they fixed that.
I know. The segregation was what, in the 1960s, late 50s, or
Yeah, we're a little late to the game on that one.
yeah. It took 50 years for us to catch up with those times.
Ridiculous.
Uh,
No, I did a lot of voting on light bulbs.
no. Then we allowed entered apprentices and fellow crafts to come in just so that we can get numbers. And
Was
get
that
people
what
more
drove that
engaged
integration?
earlier.
Is that what drove that? Like when you were there in the time, was that just to really get more people in the room at that moment?
Yes.
Okay.
100% yes.
Makes sense.
Absolutely. Because what was happening at that time was people were getting their degrees, and they would just come to their degrees, come to their catechisms. They weren't actively like coming down to dinner. Not all lodges had dinners or meetings beforehand, so they really weren't getting to know their brethren. You know, so they would come to their meetings and come to their degrees, and then the third degree, that's when they said they found out, like, you know, who everybody was and everything, and they could start coming, and they'd be like, yeah, I'm not about that.
It's kind of weird, but I could see that.
And I think personally that that's a failing on the investigating committee to properly inform the potential candidate on what to expect, you know, and manage their expectations appropriately.
The investigation committee has so much more to do than just that checklist. You got to hit those questions. I get it. That's a grand lodge thing, and you got to understand that. But you really need to know that guy, and
No, and I think we do a great job here at Villa Park with that. You know, I'm beyond proud to be a member, to be a past master of Villa Park Lodge. We are a lodge of brothers and friends. You know, we are a dinner lodge.
Mm-hmm.
We every meeting we have dinner. You know, we socialize. Most of us hang out.
Even if it's just jewel chicken, we have something.
Yeah, exactly.
Get a chance to sit and talk.
Jewel chicken is great.
No, grilled
That's
chicken.
a fine bird, my friend.
Yeah, you know, but that's I'm so proud to be here. Is we have that, you know, camaraderie together, and we hang out. A lot of us, you know, we go out and do different things. We belong to other bodies together. You know, I mean, it's the reason why I came up with the idea for our pin, for our lodge pin. You know, is that unity. You know, and I would not. I mean, I'm not trying to disrespect any other lodges, but I wouldn't want to belong to any other lodge but here. And, you know,
that actually brings me to a Facebook post I think I saw in the Young Freemasons group, and someone said, "What lodge is the best?" And my only response is,
Park.
But my response was, if everyone in this isn't saying their lodge, they need to get more invested in the day to day, because we all should be able to make that claim about our home.
I wish I would have saw that. I didn't see that post.
And that's kind of, and it dawned on me. I'm like, if someone in here is like, well, I'm in this lodge, that one's way better. Well, then, bro, you need to step up your game in your lodge and have some ownership.
Right.
I was like, oh man, look at my neighbor's grass. I should water my water it.
Yeah, honestly, whenever, dude, come on. How many times have we had visitors and they stand up at the end of the night and be like, wow, you guys, I'm impressed with your lodge. I love your lodge. Your atmosphere.
The
here
energy.
is
It's always
great.
about
the
the
energy.
Yeah,
you know,
beyond
like
impressed.
that means a lot when a visitor comes and says that. You know, I mean,
And that's the culture that we cultivated
exactly
here.
Yes.
But that culture has actually helped us bridge into other lodges. Like we've become really close with a couple other lodges.
We have. You know, a lot of
because of that camaraderie we have.
Yeah.
And it's extended out to
other brothers want that.
right.
You know?
And then
Ray's been kicking butt at Clarence P. Shores lately.
More often than not.
I go there.
Look at it, like how often have they been coming to our lodges?
A lot,
Like
really.
if you look at it, last meeting we had I think it was one other lodge, but for the last 3 or 4 meetings, we've at least had visitors from other lodges.
Yeah, at least 2 to 3 different lodges have come.
It's always fun. It's always good to meet
It is,
people.
and you know, everybody sees what we're doing. Everyone feels that energy. Everyone talks. Everyone says, "Hey, I was at this meeting. You know, you guys should go over there." You know, and that's the wonderful thing that we reach out to all the lodges that surround us, and they come because you go to other districts, you go to other states. Not every lodge does that. Most lodges don't know each other from a guy on the street.
Which is so weird, because I understand why you want your lodge to be tight and you have that special bond with your guys, this is still a networking group to
Yeah,
meet people
it
and really
is.
branch out.
Exactly.
And I mean, it's cool to sit there with the same 12 guys you love, but it's the
No,
same
you
12
need, yeah,
guys.
you need to go out and you need to meet other brethren from your state, from other states. You know, go to your Grand Lodge, you know, communications. Go to all the other events,
When you
man.
become a Master Mason, you're encouraged to travel distant lands.
And and honestly, when I was raised, that was the thing I took to heart the most. When I was first raised, I tried to go to as many lodges as I could, attend different degrees, you know, because I earned the right to travel.
I'm a honorary member of 4 different lodges. Because,
Dude, that's awesome.
Because of all the work that I've done.
And that's great. That is a great honor, man.
An honorary is such a cool title.
A lot better going out and traveling with him, or just going out and hanging out with him. Because the only thing you're going to do is the same thing here. And you're not going to know those little quirks.
I mean,
like,
even-
oh, you're into that. You're into RC cars.
even our-
You're into
even our
wrestling,
core
dude.
group, right?
These guys over here. Why aren't we doing this?
Yeah, our core group would this podcast exist if we didn't reach out and meet other people from other lodges?
It's true. You and Brock from two
You and Brock,
different lodges than me and Marty were
great
from.
lodge, right? You got Mark from Filipinas, right? But we're all
Barrington, but yeah.
Barrington, Filipinas,
Small.
you know.
Yeah.
But in general, right?
It's not just because he's Filipino. He's from Philippines Lodge.
That's what I said.
But no, Eric, I get what you're trying to say. I totally agree with you. You know, this podcast is made up of brothers from, you know, a bunch of different lodges.
Different districts.
Yeah, different districts. You know, and I mean, yeah, when it first started, it was mainly
We don't
two.
even live in the same damn towns.
No,
No, we don't. We
None
don't.
of us do.
No, we are so spread out. I mean, me and him kind of did for a little
Most of
while,
our lives,
but
but
yeah, most of our lives. But you know,
Wes, you're from down where I work, right? So I travel as far as you do. to get here.
But they don't mess you up and be like, oh, I'm in Oswego this week. I'm like, okay. He's got like 100-mile radius he lives in.
Yeah, I do tend to travel a lot. I do a lot of things with Raven Lodge, and I got friends.
Oh, yeah.
But it makes it hard for us to get together sometimes. We're like, you know, travel.
Well, that's why I tell you.
yeah, when we're all together
We
at the same
try to find out
time,
what's
like
going on.
that is so hard lately for all of us to be together. You know, exactly the same time.
Especially as a lot of our like Masonic and real life dance cards have filled up a lot more than 4 years ago, when this podcast was, not that it's still not super important to all of us, but for like a good year and a half, this was what we did.
Yeah. You know, it was like the first, about 2 years. About the first 2 years we were doing this, like, this is like, we were always together.
This recording
but then
night, yeah.
life happens. But life happens no matter what.
Yeah.
You know, and
You know, I think that's been a blessing though, because then the episodes change up a little bit, and not everyone's always there.
going from 4, you know, the standard hosts to like having like fill-in guys to having really more real recurring.
I'm a
Quiet-
regular member of this.
Quiet
cast.
filler. All right.
And I believe you believe that.
Yeah. I believe that you believe that.
Right?
You made me go to the booths.
Yeah.
Sorry. Shout out to everyone I've dragged to the Chicago Heights Moose. I hope you're still well.
Hey, Dwayne, make it great. Just saying.
828's great all day.
Yeah, I hope you still like us after those episodes come out. Oh boy, yeah. That was...
Look at. We shot 3 quality episodes. We shot 5. Like,
Oh, we didn't shoot 5.
or well, 4. We shot 4 episodes, but we shot 3 quality episodes.
You can only do so much before you just drink.
The agreement.
Too much.
The agreement was that we weren't going to start drinking until after the second episode.
Oh,
And I believe that you believe that.
We started drinking after the second tripod came
No,
out.
yeah. Before we started drinking, the moment we started setting up the table,
I had a Bloody Mary before anyone got there, if I'm being honest.
I there. As soon as I walked in the door, I was like, "Give me a drink."
I got there, and within the first 5 seconds of just being inside, Marty's like, "Here, have this." I'm like, "What is it?" He goes, "Bloody Mary." I'm like, "Yes, breakfast."
Hey, that's really just a fruit smoothie from God. Oh, life is
But
good.
it's
That was a
beautiful
long
to
day.
see, like the evolution of a lodge, right? We talk about it in our the infamous chat, but we had that article that somebody posted up. He's like how the meme culture.
Oh, Bill Hostler, Midnight Freemasons. Bill Hostler, I love you.
But if you look at it, it's like it's true, right? If you're not learning, if you're not learning and evolving, and you're just standing still, you're not living.
No.
Right. So in order for the lodges to survive, maybe yes, we need to reach out and understand more of what the younger culture or generation
Everything changes.
wants to know about or wants to learn about, and maybe we better Masonry for the betterment of our group to include more people that might be less inclined just based on the mysterium of Freemasonry.
The idea is with every generation is how do we stay the same while also changing?
The movable versus the immovable.
Right.
Because they're both laid out there and they each have their meaning. There's certain things they'll always carry, but Masonry's gone through so many changes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's
not,
going to.
and not.
We're going to be the grumpy past masters. Well, we didn't do that, you know.
Back in my day.
You know.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Look at
We
from
already
the,
are
you
the
know
grumpy
what?
past masters.
Since time immemorial, there has been the grumpy past masters. Back in my day, what do you mean? We just started last year. Like like back then, there's always been. That's why I love. I know we've talked about it before. I love how back in my day we did this, and this, or everybody knew ritual. Everyone knew how to do this. No, they didn't. I've gotten to look at minutes from different lodges from years and years back. Well, we couldn't open today because we didn't have enough members.
Oh, there was that one
This
famous-
degree we didn't do because the two of the lecturers dropped out.
Brother Tim forgot the word "and."
Yeah,
There was a degree because Ray didn't show up.
Yeah,
We had one of those.
we had one of those. Yeah, that happened. That's had happened.
That's a little sword that was
Yeah, that guy kind of like opened the wound right now.
Yoda grabbing his chest. Oh, disturbance.
Well, guys,
in general, Ray, thank you and your dad for all of the hard work you guys have done for the lodge and everything you guys still continue to do to this day.
agreed.
Agreed.
Yeah. So, well, that brings us to the end of our episode.
Another quality episode.
No shots, but shout outs. As anybody, what do you want to give
Ray,
a
you want a shout out?
I'll give a shout out to my dad and all my brothers in Freemasonry.
Love it.
Awesome. That's great.
Great. Thank you. Well, thank you for coming on. We greatly appreciate it. Once again, if you haven't figured it out, you're watching us on YouTube, Rumble, listen to us on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and some other things. So if you haven't done it yet, please
Smash that like button in the face.
what he said.
Alrighty.
So, Marty,
That was pretty intense.
Quality episode.
Look, if you're listening to us on iHeartRadio, let us know. I don't know why we track so strong on that one platform or who's still using iHeartRadio. Please reach out to us. I want to understand you and your people.
Yeah, that and then anything,
Comment.
just comment.
Comment.
Say hello.
Want to see on the show? Comment.
Yeah.
All the stuff that Wes wants to buy up for your regalia.
Yeah.
All right.
all right, everyone. Thank you for watching, and hopefully we will be back with
Illuminati not welcome.
more. Have a good night.